Hi guys, it's your favorite girl Lenora T, aka MamaSkye, aka Banza Diva. Oh, hi guys, how are you? How are you doing? If this is your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Make sure to subscribe. On here we do mama videos, vlogs, beauty. We do everything on here, okay? We don't limit ourselves. And if this is not your first time, thank you so much for coming back and for subscribing. Today's video is going to be a little bit long, and that's why I'm going to break it up into two parts. I'm talking about my postpartum updates, how I've been doing. I realized that I've been doing updates about Skye, and I just did her 7 months update, and I decided, hey, why don't I do a video about me? How am I doing? How am I holding up being a new mom? Yeah, like, how am I doing? I think it's only fair, to tell you guys how I'm doing, and also, like, maybe give you an idea of what you might face when you're a mom, or if you're already a mom, you can relate and know that you're not the only one going through these things. And also, it's going to be a good, check up on myself. Me just talking about it is also going to be like a good recap of everything that has been going on in the past months. So yeah, I'm gonna break this video into two. The first part will be how I'm doing mentally, and the second part will be how I'm doing physically. Those are the two main things that I feel like I want to talk about, or that has been impacted the most in these few months. I'm talking 8 months, right? So yeah, I'm gonna start with the mental part. If you want to see the physical part and everything that I've been doing, or how I've been coping physically ever since I had my baby, then you can check part 2 for that. But today we'll be talking about mentally. I'm so big on mental health because, especially as a mom, I feel like your mental health comes first before you're even able to take care of your baby or your family or anybody else. You have to take care of yourself, and mentally is very important. I love how recently everybody is very serious about taking their mental health seriously, and it's always good to make sure that that's in check. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So starting off, when I got pregnant in December 2019, at first I was scared. I was so scared. I wasn't sure of what to expect. I didn't plan to have a baby, and so I was so scared when I found out that I was pregnant. Luckily, my husband next to me, I was able to warm up to the idea, and I was going through like nausea and everything, so I couldn't eat. I was annoyed by everything and everybody, but that was normal, that was expected. But yeah, I was scared, and then with time I got comfortable. I got, okay with the idea. I accepted what was about to happen. My life was about to change. I was about to have a baby that was going to completely depend on me. That was especially hard because I felt like I was not in a place where I was ready to take care of another human being, because I still felt like I still had so much growing up to do. But these things just prepare you, to be honest. Before I gave birth, I prepared myself, okay? I prepared myself to just know that, hey, things are changing and you just have to switch it up, get ready somehow. Of course, with God's help, I prayed about it a lot, and yeah, somehow God gives you the strength to do it. Yeah, fast forward, I had my baby in August, and everything was fine. My whole pregnancy was fine. I didn't have any complications. I was excited to meet my baby. I wasn't scared of labor. I was very happy. I was excited. Every time people asked me, I was just, oh my God, I'm excited. And nobody understood that, but I was truly, truly excited. Now, when the baby came, sweetheart, I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready, yo, but I was not ready. It first of all started off with, as soon as we left the hospital, that's when things started going downhill for me, okay? So I left the hospital swollen because they had given me a lot of fluids. So I left the hospital super swollen. Mind you, I've been skinny my whole pregnancy. Everybody's like, oh, you're so skinny, you're so skinny. And now after the baby comes, I look fatter. I look in fact, I didn't even look like I had given birth to a baby. So yeah, I'm gonna talk more about that in the physical aspect of the video of this update. But yeah, that messed up with me mentally. It was so hard to accept my new body. I struggled with that a lot. I had this full body mirror that I had gotten for my birthday. No. I wanted this full body mirror, right, for my birthday. And when the mirror came, my auntie got it for me. I was like, I'm not sure I want this mirror anymore because I was able to see like everything. I didn't want to take pictures of myself. I just hated looking at myself in front of the mirror because every time I did that, I did not recognize who that was. And so that really messed up with me mentally. But me being the person that I always brush things off, this was especially hard because I was brushing it off and it was not working. Like, it was right there in my face. My belly was right there. My swollen legs were right there. It was just so hard for me to just adjust, mentally to this new body because it happened overnight. I wasn't fat during my pregnancy. It happened overnight. So yeah, that was really hard. But I knew that I had to be there mentally for Skye. But as time went by, it wasn't getting any better. I just felt down most of the time. I was just extremely sad. And mind you, I was happy. I had the baby. She was a very quiet baby. She didn't cry. She didn't have any, how do you call it? She didn't have colic. So she was fine. We didn't have any breastfeeding issues. We didn't have any latching issues. So it was just weird how I was just like sad. And I started doing research and I started hearing about postpartum depression. I had been doing my research before the baby came, so I knew a lot of the things that I was to expect or the things that were going to happen to me, but I'd never really looked into postpartum depression because I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get depressed. I'm excited for this baby to be here, but to be here, and depression will be the last thing. But to be honest, you cannot control these things. I was just constantly I was just there. I was just there. And I really felt like that was postpartum depression because I've never felt like that before. And I was crying a lot and I could not explain why I was crying. It was just all these emotions going through my head. I wrote a lot too. Like, if I go through my phone, there's so many notes that I wrote, and I made sure to communicate with my husband and tell him. And honestly, this started probably like after my birthday. So like after September or October. So the baby was like 2 months by now. And we had several doctor's appointments where they make you for Skye, the doctor's appointments were for Skye, but when you go there, they make the mom take a test. So they make you answer questions, basic things like I laugh more than usually, or I don't laugh at things that I would normally laugh at. I have trouble sleeping. I'm crying more than usual. I have thoughts of killing myself or the baby. And those first few appointments, when they gave me those forms, I was just like, ha, what is this? I was just laughing because I had just come back from the hospital and I was still like in a state where I'm like, I'm fine. I wasn't that sad, but as months went by, I was not understanding anymore. And I feel like at this time I was very sensitive in such a way that anything that was happening around me, I let it like get to me. So it was adding on top of what I was really feeling, and I was just taking everything overboard. Like, shout out to my husband because he had to deal with all of that, and a little bit of my mom too. So mommy, I'm sorry. My mom got mad at me at some point. She's like, you have turned American now. You don't turn American. You've become American. It's okay. Talk to me the way you want to talk to me. So yeah, that was a difficult time, and it was difficult for me to just say that I have postpartum depression because I felt like nobody was gonna understand that. I wasn't gonna believe myself if I had told myself that a few months ago. So it was hard to communicate that with anybody. And so I think at Sky's 3rd month appointment, I filled out that form, and I was really honest on it, what I'd been feeling and everything. And few hours after the appointment, the doctor called me and recommended I see a therapist. And that's when I knew that, okay, I'm depressed. Okay, I have postpartum depression. And it was weird. Okay, I didn't have any feelings. Like my depression, I felt, was more on the mild side, because you have people who have baby blues, who feel like hurting the baby, hurting themselves. I didn't get to that. I just had this overwhelming sadness about me, and then I was just using other things to just add it on top of it and just making everything worse. I felt so horrible about myself. I thought I was shit. Okay, not shit in a good way, but shit like in a bad way. So yeah. And yeah, so when the doctor recommended I to go for therapy, I remember my sister had talked to me about this website called, or an app called BetterHelp, and it's cheaper, and to see a therapist is more expensive. So I said, okay, let me give BetterHelp a chance. And you basically go on there, you answer the questions, and then they match you with a therapist. If you don't like the therapist, you can change the therapist, and that's what I did. They gave me a therapist, I didn't like her, and I changed to somebody else that I wanted. And so I started going to therapy. I started going to therapy, and that helped a lot, because I'm such an open book. I like to share. I'm a sharer, and that's what therapists do. They're just there to, yes, honey, yes, sweetheart, yes. They're just there to listen, and then at the end they give their advice, right? So I did a lot of talking and pouring it out and letting them know what I was going through. And of course, they knew the questions to ask to be able to really like help me or give me the help that I need. And during this time, I learned so much about myself. I told my friends about it. Everyone's laughing at me like, therapy, oh please, those people, blah, blah, blah. But you would not know until you're there, because I would have said the same thing. Therapists are, what are they? They just listen to you, right? But by the end of it, and as time went on, she, we diagnosed what it is I was going through, and she was able to give me coping mechanisms for every time I felt like that. Um, yeah, I don't want to go into details about that because it's a bit personal, but yeah, I got to really understand what was happening, and it had come from my past and growing up. And so yeah, if you think you have a problem and you think that there's certain things that you do in your life that you don't understand, you talk to a therapist. They'll help you, they'll break it down for you. Okay, so it made a lot of sense, and with the coping mechanisms and everything, it was better. But again, my husband was the one suffering during this whole time, but he was very understanding of what I was going through, even though he's the one that handled a bulk of the trouble I was given, or a bunch of the sadness that I was radiating. And of course, I really did my best not to reflect that on Sky. Yeah, in fact, I never did. It was hard. Like, it was so hard to even do that. If I'm holding her, I'll probably find myself crying and being mad if maybe she's sleeping, or it's nighttime and I'm in bed and I'm not able to sleep and my mind is just running, running, running. It was never when I was, interacting with her. And she was a newborn, so she was sleeping a lot anyway. So by November I stopped, or December, yes, by December I stopped going to therapy because I couldn't afford for it anymore. But I felt like I was in a good space. I'd understood what was going on with me. My husband went to Cameroon, and I think Sky was 4 months at that time. But I had help with my sister-in-law who was here, so she helped me a lot to take care of Sky. And also, so my family does this thing where we take turns in hosting Christmas, and this year 2020 was our year to host Christmas. So as soon as I was done with therapy and December was around the corner, I decided to, okay, distract myself. It's not healthy for me to just sit in the house and not do anything and not go out more. With COVID too, it didn't help, but I decided, I think at that time the bans in Oklahoma were a bit relaxed. So I was like, okay, let me try my best to step out of the house and take Sky out too, because we were staying in the house a lot and my sister-in-law had come from Cameroon. So I'm like, this is a great opportunity for us to be outside. Decided to do vlogmas, and that vlogmas pushes you to be in the Christmas spirit, because I feel like I didn't think I wanted a tree, but for Sky's sake, yeah, we had to put up a tree. So that kept me busy, you know, Christmas shopping, planning for hosting my family on Christmas, showing my sister-in-law around town, taking Sky out. It kept me on the move, and recording and editing just kept me going, which I feel like has always been a tactic for me whenever I'm going through something. I'm just busy, right? So that kept me away from those the depression or whatever it is I was going through. It was depression, to be honest. And yeah, so after Christmas was New Year, and then the year started 2021. And in January, I was just tired of just looking and talking down on myself. You know how like New Year just brings this thing out of you where you just feel like you want to conquer the world. I'm happy that that happened, because that's when I made the decision that I need to stop just being down. Okay, I need to get my ass up and do something about it. So I made all these resolutions. I included my husband, and he was laughing at me the entire time. He's like, what's wrong with you? What are you talking about? I'm like, no, this year is our year. We're doing this. We're achieving this, achieving that. Blah, 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 blah. So I went full on 2021. I did not have time to waste. You feel me? You feel me? So I did what was necessary for me to take 2021 by storm. I let a lot of things also, I said to leave a lot of things in the past, because a lot had happened to me. Even when I was pregnant, like crazy stuff was happening. I said to leave all of that behind and face my front. Okay? Face my front, and just pray to God to open all the doors that needed to be opened for me, to show me everything that I needed to see, and to only let what is for me come to me. I'm not chasing after anything, after anybody, after any. I'm not chasing. I'm done chasing, and I'm done pleasing. If it's for me, it will come to me just by me doing this. I don't have to do sweat and blood. No, we're not stressing over things that are not meant for us, because you're gonna stress for something and you find it's not even for you. Okay? So pray for God to open up the blessings, or to remove those things in your life that are blocking your blessings. It's very easy to ask God for whatever it is that you want, but then there are things in you that are blocking those things from coming. So my main prayer that I'm going to share with you guys is pray to God to take away those things that are blocking your blessing, and then all the blessings that are meant for you, they'll just be coming in. So yeah, in January I made the decision to, you know, take control of my life. I, you know, involved, I read, I prayed a lot. I did novenas with my family. And with time, things got better. Now is what, April. I'm feeling a whole lot better. I mean, COVID, there's been ups and downs this year as well, but I'm always like, I get up immediately. I don't, we're not doing this, okay? And I make sure to really communicate a lot. And that's one thing that's helped me. I'm not holding nothing in. I communicate whoever I need to communicate to make it better. So yeah, I think that's it. Maybe I should check my phone. Okay, let me go through my notes and make sure I've spoken about everything. Oh, the one point that I did not mention there is that in December, when my husband went to Cameroon, I was in shock. Okay, I was so, my mindset about single moms like changed. I used to respect single moms. I've always respected single moms. I respect every mom. And being here by myself with Sky, I'm like, we're taking our husbands for granted though. But we're also taking single moms for granted, because honey, I did that whole week, I did not sleep. In fact, I stopped recording vlogmas because I was not able to keep up. I did week 1. In fact, Vlogmas is supposed to be daily, right? I decided to do mine weekly. So that still required me to record every day and then post at the end of the week, but I was still not able to catch up. I did week 1, week 2 came out in week 3, and then week 3 I recorded like 1 day, and then my family came. It would have actually been like really interesting videos for Vlogmas because my family, we always have a great time when we come together, and Christmas was so much fun, but I could not keep up. I just could not keep up. So yeah, single moms and all my mothers, I respect you. And it's the same thing with moms. Like, I respect moms, I respect my mom, I respect all the mothers I know, but being a mom yourself, it's like double respect for all the mothers that you knew, and even your own mother. Like, I was not a bad kid or anything, so yeah, I was not a bad kid, so my mom had it a little bit easy with me. But even despite that aspect, even if your baby is Jesus Christ, there's just so much that you as a mom, your child depends on you, and you just have to keep it moving. Yeah. So yeah, guys, this was a great video. I'm about to go to part 2. This part 2 is the one that has the real sugar and spice and tea, okay? But I thought it was important that I talk about my mental health and how I've been coping, and how yeah, and how what am I saying? Yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Toodles.